Hello, guys. This is the very first live stream that Dove Angel and I are actually going to do together. But of course, you guys are going to hear from me first before we get started with her and I with this new podcast that we're doing. But let's see if you guys can hear me and make sure that I'm actually live before I actually start talking. So let me just go look. And if there's anyone there watching currently, hello, hello, hello. Yep, it's live. All right, let's get started. Now, what's going on, Fahim? I see there's 5 people watching. Who's out there? Come on, guys. This is the first podcast with Dove Angel and I that we're working on. And this is the Moonwalkers chat time. Well, let's go. S. Marie, April Willis, Janice, Gypsy, Angie, S. Marie, everybody. Tanya, what's going on, everybody? Well, I'm just going to make my little talk brief. But to start off, I'm going to start off by answering some of the questions that came from my community tab. But let me give you guys a couple of more seconds to start rolling in. I see there's 16 of you guys here. All right, let's get started. 16 of you here. 16 is fine with me. All right, now I posted in my community tab about any questions that you guys may have had for me for this podcast, so let me get right into it. All right, Sandy Hyatt would like to know what and when I came to believe that Michael Jackson was alive, and also, do you know he is alive for sure? Thank you, Daryl. Looking forward to tomorrow's podcast. Much love and blessings to you. Well, yes, I do know for sure he is alive. I had discussed this on my live maybe about 2 weeks ago that I had did, and I honestly came to believe he was alive when I saw that helicopter footage. It didn't happen within that very first, per se, day, week. It took a couple of weeks before I actually paid that any attention because the news media at that time kept seeming to run that footage because they literally here in New York, they ran that footage in the ground, that whole helicopter thing. And I said, something don't seem right at all. It started there. And then something else that didn't seem right where I watched that Larry King live interview with Joe Jackson the following month on July, what was it, July 21st? And wait, no, it couldn't have been July. Yeah, it was July 21st. And of course, he was asked about Michael and Michael's body and all the things that Joe Jackson should know, being that he was his father. And of course, Joe Jackson's answer just didn't resonate with me. And I'm like, how don't you know where your own child's body is? That's a little far-fetched. More things ended up coming where the very first YouTuber that I followed, his name was Pierre T. Pierre T. He's no longer on YouTube. He was one of the first people that I discovered researching the death hoax. And the first thing that he ended up showing in his videos was that helicopter thing. And I was like, oh my God, I knew I wasn't the only one. I was like, I knew I was not the only one who thought something was not right. But at that moment, I didn't say for sure that he was alive as of yet, because that didn't cross my mind. I said, something does not seem right about that footage and what Joe Jackson had said in that CNN interview. When I saw that video from Pierre T, he honestly really awakened something in me that made me just realize, like, wow, am I totally being fucked with here? Excuse my mouth, guys. I don't want to curse, but I just said, am I being fucked with? Because it just was like, what the hell? I was like, maybe this guy is crazy at first. And then after that, it's just like more and more just kept resonating to me that just didn't seem right, especially with the public memorial. I saw a lot of celebrities there that had no bearings or connection to Michael at all, and there were people who were there that did have connections. And I said, what the hell are some of these people there for? He didn't even associate with a lot of these people. Something's not right. But then I thought about it. Something made me go on Google back then in 2009, and I decided to type in Michael Jackson is alive, and this blog had popped up with photos of like this airplane and the airport, God, what the hell was it? The airport schedule that showed the flight information. Can't remember the airport name, not the airport, the blog name. but this blog had the airport stats. That's what it was, the airport stats. He had the airport stats up, and I was like, oh my God, so this person is saying that MJ boarded this plane. After that, I began doing my own research. And right after I began doing my own research, I started out with a blog, believe it or not, and my own website, but they're no longer around anymore. But I started out with a blog, and I started out with a website, and I built a following there about the death hoax. And other people, I had no clue that I would end up getting people to follow what I was saying regarding the death hoax. And it actually shocked me, because a lot of the people that commented and shared this stuff that I was making originally in 2009, they shared it because they believed the same thing I did. And that's what told me I needed to go a step further. So I ended up scrapping the blog, I scrapped my website, and I joined YouTube the following year. It took a while though, because I was working on researching for months before I actually put out a video. My first video on the death hoax didn't actually come out until 2010, the following year. Because at first I was like, do I really go this far and start putting out video information about this particular topic and have people hate me for it? Because back then you could not even talk about this death hoax, especially being that there was two separate factions. It started out with the believers versus the non-believers, and now everything is just all split up with believers on this side, believers on that side, believers. But anyway, I started out with my first video, and I released it in 2010, and you guys probably have seen it, which was Michael Jackson is Alive, Death Hoax Minisode Episode 1. But that pretty much sums up how I actually got into it. Now, MD Love, MJ Forever says, I'll be there. I have a question. What was the very first thing? Oh, wait, it's around the same thing. That's pretty much the same question. But yeah, pretty much the same thing. Like, Pierre T really awakened me with what he was saying and what he showed. And that really put a fire in me to start my own blog and website. And from there, YouTube, and the rest is history. Like, the rest is history. And here I am 10 years later, like, still going strong. And I appreciate you guys rocking it out with me all this time, because I know a lot of you have followed my channel for years. And I do appreciate and respect it. Thank you guys for that. Janesta says, finally, I will be home to see this live stream. Thank you so much, Mr. P. All right. Well, that's the two questions that I got in my community tab. But now let's jump into the next thing. Now, the last video that I had released was the Escape Plan Part 4. And I'm pretty sure all of you guys have seen it so far. But with the Escape Plan Part 4 came a part of the video where I discussed the double that was shopping out in April 2009. There's been so much conflict and so much controversy over this double. But I'm sorry, guys. If you don't believe that that was not Michael Jackson, and of course, if you guys see the screenshot here, that's on my screen. If you believe that that was Michael Jackson there, that's on you. I won't take that from you. That's your thoughts, that's your feelings. But however, research proves otherwise. Even though there have been people that tried to send me screenshots and told me, oh, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, how are you saying this? And no, look at the screenshot here. The difference between the two hands. 2009, both sets of hands. How does his hands change that way in the course of a month? Because that second photo with the actual Michael Jackson was taken in March. How did his hands get youthful in the month of April? How did his hands go from having dark melanin-filled nails to having clear, beautiful nails? This person's hands that they say is Michael Jackson is not Michael Jackson. Look at how young those hands are. And I'm not even saying anything disrespectful against him, because I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the world. But we know at age 50 that we do age, and our skin will begin to wrinkle just a bit. His hands began to wrinkle in his older years. There's no way you can change that. There's no way that those hands of that person that was out shopping in Beverly Hills was Michael Jackson. And I'm not going to let anyone convince me otherwise, because I actually did my research. So for anyone to message me and call me a fool, call me silly, and all of this nonsense, Much love to you, and carry on. Because in the long run, I did my research. You can't tell me to do my research. That's what I do for a living. That's why I don't put out videos every single day the way everyone else does, because my research takes weeks. I take my time. I don't just randomly throw stuff out there, guys. Like, my research speaks for itself. I don't just randomly throw things out there. If you notice, my videos come out every, 2-3 weeks, sometimes once a month now, because I take my time researching this stuff. I don't put out nonsense at all. I've never put out nonsense since doing this from the very beginning, and I don't expect anyone to message me disrespecting me, telling me so. So if you feel the need to disrespect or disagree, fine. You can disagree with me, but be respectful. But some people talking about you're a fool, you're a silly, you're a jackass, and calling me all sorts of names. Screw you. I don't have to accept that. And then this one person said to me, oh, you're wrong. You just want to be like Pearl Jr. I don't want to be like nobody but Daryl damn Wood. I ain't never try to be nobody else. I don't even associate with anybody else on that caliber who does this sort of topic. I don't deal with her. I don't message her. We don't have any contact. So how am I trying to be like someone that I don't even have contact with? I would have to at least have known her or really have given a damn about a lot of the things that was said on her platform. But her platform is her platform, and my platform is my platform. My research is my research. Her research is her research. Just like someone wanting to message me recently arguing about Peter Medani because I said I don't believe that that's Michael Jackson. They said, oh, that's disrespectful to Pearl. No, it's not. What's disrespectful is Peter Medani and Bobby Anderson saying that he's Michael Jackson. It's not her that I'm worried about. It's him that's leading you guys on. I'm not worried about what she's saying because I don't watch anything that she posts. And I'll be frankly honest about that. The last thing that I can say I watched of hers was the Alive Part 1, which was 10 years ago. I have not watched anything since, but I get a lot of messages from you guys sending me stuff that she makes or does. And guys, I still have yet to watch it because it's like, I do my own research and my research is different than hers on a totally different scale. I've never given you guys a person and told you guys that someone is him. If that's what she does, that's on her, and you guys can keep that with her. But I only research him being alive. I don't try to pinpoint locations and GPS him and claim that I know him or anything of that nature. If that's what other researchers do, kudos to them. But it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. And I would never want to lead you guys on and tell you anyone is him and not know the full truth or have someone that's potentially scamming. It's just ridiculous. I would never sit up there and do that to you guys. I think if you guys do believe that Bobby Anderson and Peter Medani is Michael Jackson, by all means. I won't take that from you because that's your prerogative to do that. But anyways, guys, this is a podcast about Dove Angel and I am actually going to call Miss Angel. So let's get Miss Angel on the line. Come on, Dove. We're waiting for you. Let me get her on the line, guys. Hold on 2 seconds. Because we have more in store for you guys, and you're going to really wow this one. So just give me 2 seconds and let me get her on the phone, and we will take it from there. So, Dove, I hope you are ready and expecting my phone call because I know you are in the live chat. So let's go, Dove.
Hello.
Miss Dove Angel, what's going on, my friend?
Hi.
I'm excited. This is our first episode together on the podcast. Yes. Oh, man. Well, guys, Dove Angel and I want to actually share some things with you about something that we learned about recently. It's going to be regarding a play about Michael. And no, not a good one. And also the Super Bowl controversy that's going on as of lately, and maybe a few more things. But guys, I hope you're ready for it. So let's go. Dove Angel, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's go. Okay, guys, now to start off, let me just put up this screenshot, and you guys can follow along as we talk about it. Now, the screenshot that I put up is an article from the Los Angeles Times about a new musical that's actually out and currently playing in Los Angeles. And it's just a little too much. It's called For the Love of the Glove. I'm just finding out about this yesterday, and it's just like baffling the things that I've learned and heard. But Dove Angel, do you want to jump into this?
You want me to start about what it's about, or how do I even start this, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's so ridiculous that I don't even know where to start. So forgive me, guys. First of all, thank you. 27 people on a Saturday is like, wow. No, on Sunday. What is it today? Is Sunday?
It's Saturday
This is
here.
crazy. Oh, it's Saturday, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you, guys. So, The Love of a Glove. Yeah, it's a play or a show, however you want to call it. It's from director Julian. What was it? Nix Berg?
God, I can't even remember his name, but Julian Jackass. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And well, to make a long story short, it's about someone that impersonates the glove, like a real life-size puppet that is like Michael Jackson's sequin glove, that actually gives him the power to be who he is. So actually, what he's saying, that the glove made Michael Jackson who he is today, and that the glove is steering him to do, these weird things to little boys or to young boys. And there are aliens in the play that feed of young boys' virgin blood, and they talk about the KKK. They talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I feel it's really, really disrespectful, because they also talk about, we've been through the whole Michael Jackson wanted to be white thing in 2019, when a lot of people really don't realize that vitiligo is a real disease, and it turns you lighter than what you originally were born with. And these guys are bringing the same, and I'm sorry for saying this, the same shit up all over again, for him to actually wanting to be white, because there's a song that's called "It's a Delight to Be White," and I feel this needs to be addressed. And for you MJ fans or MJ family or whatever, I feel you guys need to know about this. And if someone or a group of fans or whatever can go to the front door and just, I don't know, boycott it somehow, because these guys are now in LA until the 8th of March.
Yep.
But they're actually planning of doing a whole worldwide tour. So if this goes through and this ball starts rolling, it's really going to be, too late. And there's not much we can do to stop this.
And that's a scary thing. And you and I had talked about this last night, because I said at first, until you told me that they labeled it as an unauthorized, so that's what's going to help them get away with making this musical, because they labeled it an unauthorized play. So that way the estate can't do anything. But however, if it does include Michael Jackson's name and image somehow, there might be some stipulation to actually get the estate underway with this, because this is nonsense now. Like, I'm not even saying it just because it's him. It's just totally disrespectful. Like, the whole song about, oh my God, I don't even want to go into that. That song that I heard last night, I wish I could play it for you guys right now, but it's just like so disrespectful on so many levels, to the point that I don't even want to play it for you guys here. But I will post the link. And this song pretty much describes about how Michael wants to be white. This song also describes how the glove is what made Michael. Oh, but the nonsense is, guys, that this glove, well, there's 5 gloves that came from outer space. Came from outer space when Michael was a child. And, of course, Michael is the one that gets one of the gloves. Joe Jackson gets wind of the gloves, and the other boys also, they said, have gloves, Amalia?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
As far as I know, there's this one main glove, the Thriller. His name is Thriller, not Thriller, but Thriller.
Thriller.
Yeah.
A mess. A hot
it's
mess.
so ridiculous, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
totally.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, the gloves came from outer space, and in order for a person to receive their abilities of becoming a musical prodigy, they will put the glove on, and of course, the glove would feed off of the young child's virgin blood. However, of course,
Yeah.
in that play, they're saying that Michael couldn't always give blood to them, to the glove, so apparently Michael started giving the gloves to his
Bring it
brothers
boys
and then
home.
also inviting young people to the house, is what they're saying, to appease the
Yeah.
gloves so the gloves can drink blood from these other young virgin boys. It's disgusting. It is
And
disgusting
they're
on
everywhere.
so many levels. If they
Yep.
come to New
It's
York,
on
they're
social
lucky that I'm
media.
not in LA, Dove, because I swear, look at these puppets, guys. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Like, look at this crap. Look at it. Like, hold on, let me put it up. This is just totally disgusting. Like, look at the Michael Jackson puppets. And then what's worse about it is, you have a black actor playing Michael and voicing Michael, and he's more than willing to clown him. And you want to know what makes it worse? Wade Robson gave his okay on this play because why? His friend Chris Judd, the choreographer who
He's a
Michael gave a
choreographer.
chance. Yeah, Michael gave Chris
Yes.
Judd a chance back in the days. And Chris Judd is the one that's choreographing this crap. That's exactly why J-Lo left you. And even though J-Lo is shiesty herself, she did the right thing because you a shiesty bastard. Your damn self, Chris Judd. Like, what kind
Amen
of
to
human
that.
being? I'm sorry. It's like, how would Chris Judd like it if somebody made fun of his dead relatives? Quote unquote. Being that to the media, MJ is dead, right? So, per se, MJ
Right.
being quote unquote dead, how would Chris Judd like it if they made fun of one of his dead relatives? Like, that's not even remotely funny. Do you see the MJ puppet? The young black one is from, of course, the Jackson 5 era. And the white one, of course, is from him as
Yep.
adulthood. But of course, the white puppet looks like Teddy Perkins, in all honesty. Doesn't even look like Michael. Looks like damn Teddy Perkins. Like, it's
It's
ridiculous.
disgusting.
It's
And
another,
it
yeah, it's
really got
another
me, you know.
backstabber. It's disgusting. Like, another person to
Yeah.
backstab. Like,
Yep. And it kind of leads back to the whole Leaving Neverland stuff
yeah, because they're pretty much accusing
all
him
over
of
again.
molestation in this play by saying that the glove made him molest people. It's
Right. It's Wade Robson is on the team as well, you know.
And then what made it even worse, they almost tried to tie Johnny Depp to this crap, but Johnny Depp knew better, not only on a sense of professionalism, but he also was a friend to Michael. And he wouldn't disrespect him
Yep.
like that. Once he got wind of what the hell they were actually doing, he said, hell no, I don't want no parts of this. I don't want any parts of this.
Exactly.
And then to make it worse, they include the whole entire family, not just MJ. They talk about the Jackson 5. They talk about Joe Jackson, Katherine Jackson. And then to deal with Joe Jackson being gone, he's not around anymore to defend himself. They're making fun of how he raised them. They're making fun of how Katherine Jackson raised her children. This woman is literally living in her last days. And you really expect her to enjoy her time left on this planet dealing with disrespect of this nature. It's
Yep.
ridiculous, man. I honestly
It's sick.
don't get as to why they were allowed, but it's only because of that one word, unauthorized. And it's kind of a word of protection when it comes to Hollywood and Hollyweird or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's like a word of protection because if you notice, all of these books that come out now written about a celebrity are unauthorized, and a celebrity can't get it taken down because why? Oh, well, I didn't authorize them to post it, but however, this word protects them under the law. But there has to be some stipulation behind it where you could actually get around that because this play needs to be taken down off the market. Imagine if this crap
I
spread
agree.
worldwide like they're trying to do after March 8th. Like, it's disgusting, guys, and I just wanted to make sure that Dove and I brought that to you guys because some of you guys may have heard about it. So I saw some of you in the live chat say, oh, that play. So you guys have heard about it, but it's like, what the hell? I'm surprised that the Moonwalkers haven't banded together and actually pushed for this play to be shut down altogether, because this play needs to be done for once and for all. There's no reason why this man who's on my screen, let me go back to it, click, click, click. Ugh, man. This Julian Nix Berg character, this fool, why is he able to sit up there and degrade not just Michael Jackson, but degrade a whole entire black family? He's degrading the Jacksons with this play. He's degrading them with this play. Yeah. This is a total degradation against that family, and this is all for money. And you guys have heard me say it over and over and over the last now year and a half that's been going on with the rumors against MJ, then the release of Leaving Neverland. All of this stuff that they're doing is all cash grabs. These are broke, money-hungry, hoe-ass people. And they really disgust me. They really disgust me to the core, because it's just getting utterly ridiculous. Like, it's one thing if I don't even mind the fact that they made a play about him, because they could have spun it in a comedic way where, oh, the glove came from space and gave MJ abilities that made him write his songs and blah, 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 blah. But why did they have to go into the whole molestation and all of this crap and saying that the glove made him do all of this crap? Like,
right.
Why?
That's the shitty part. That's the wrong thing about it. That's the whole, effed up shit about this whole thing. Like, they're using him all over again, and it feels like we're starting on square one all over.
Pretty much.
Because now all of the good things, because all of the good stuff that has been coming out, and people were getting kind of, peaceful with it, and like they were starting to turn around and to actually see what the point was of this all, Now it just went up in smoke because of these guys.
I'm just still shocked that it was even allowed for them to even produce this and anybody actually gave their blessing.
Well, if it's true that HBO is part of it, or since we saw it somewhere in the articles that we read, I saw HBO somewhere, and Wade Robson being involved, and Chris Judd and Sony and everything else. If these guys are promoting it somehow or being behind it all, in destroying Michael Jackson, because that was their point from day one.
Like, their main point, though, it seems like they're definitely trying to make sure that they push his name under the mud once and for good. They're really trying to do that. And now if this play does go international, I don't know what it may cause or what people may think, because now that Leaving Neverland had come out last year in January, it's been now a whole year since that crap came out. Here we are now, the following year, January has just passed, and during the month of January, a play about MJ's life that involves child molestation comes out. There's some pattern behind this, guys. You don't see it? Like, there's a definite pattern behind this. January. No, wait. The play premiered in December, actually, the end of December, close to January. Still doesn't change the fact they're tarnishing his name. No matter when the hell it came out. They're tarnishing his name. It's disrespectful. It is totally disrespectful. So, this idiot who created the play, Julian Nix Berg, can go straight to hell with his play. And if anyone actually follows this page on Instagram or Twitter, I'd comment and tell them how foul this is. Because it's foul. This is a whole new level of foul. Why should something like this have been allowed to be put into rotation for anyone to even watch? Why would anyone give any money towards this sort of play that is totally a disrespectful play from front to back? There's not a moment in that play that is not a disrespectful moment about Michael Jackson's legacy. They are trying to do their damnedest to make sure that they shut his legacy down once and for good. But as long as I'm standing, that shit will never happen. Never. It will never happen. As long as I'm breathing and as long as I still have air flowing through my lungs, it will never happen. Because the first thing after this live, you think I'm not going to hop to their Twitter, and I'm going to hop to their Instagram, and I'm going to make sure that I voice my opinion about everything. And I'm not sure who it was out there. I'm not sure. But this person watches my channel because I've seen her share it, but I don't know what her name is. But she's contacted the estate before. I wish she contacts the estate again. If you see any of this, screenshot all of this stuff from my video and show this to the estate, because they need to see this. I don't even know if they're aware of it. I mean, how many of you think that they're actually aware of this? Because if they were, you think that they wouldn't try to fight this, even if they did use the word unauthorized? The estate would definitely try to fight this and probably win.
Yeah, and it's going to take all the attention, the good attention of the last documentary that came out, the German one.
Right.
Then this Broadway play. It's going to take all the viewers that were going to go there, or the audience, or however you want to call it. It's going to take them away from all of it. So it's now that I don't know if there's something to do or what we can do, but we can at least try.
I know damn well I'm going to try, because this ain't right. And it makes it even easier because they made sure that they wrote all original songs for this play, and they didn't use not one Michael Jackson lyric, sentence, word, nothing. Just to ensure that, oh, well, they can't come after us because we didn't use his songs. We wrote all original stuff. And the fact that they wrote original stuff, like, let me see if I can find any titles for this shit. Like, let me see if there's any titles for this crap. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. But Dove, you could keep chatting with them. I'm going to look something up real fast.
Well, one of the songs is called "It's a Delight to Be White." That's just, total SHIT.
Oh, you could feel... you could feel free to say it. Trust me.
Well, it's a lot of crap. And I'm trying to say polite.
It's a lot of shite.
Yes, totally. And I don't know. It's just so much. It's just too much. And I feel just so sorry for the family. Most of all for Miss Catherine, because she's she's already dealing with so much, or has been dealing with so much, and she's not, the youngest, and she's not well and everything, and it's just too much. She's being disrespected, like Daryl said, and they talk about Joe Jackson, they talk about Michael Jackson, they talk about Jermaine and what was her name?
I'm sorry?
His ex-wife.
Hazel Gordy. Hazel Gordy.
Even they have their little thing in the show. So they just made a whole new mockery of everything we already been through.
Oh my God! And then
I'm sorry,
that's crazy.
Hmm?
No, I'm sorry, Dove. Keep going. I'm reading something and it just distracted me because I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know. It's just too much. And I'm definitely gonna, they probably won't care what I have to say about it, but I am gonna address them on all social media platforms that they have. They are on Twitter, they are on Instagram, and they are on Facebook. And since it's premiered, it's been selling out every single night. The place is packed with people. They get incredible reviews, and it's just horrible because the second tickets are like $80 or $74, and you get to sit on a beanbag.
The beanbag chair.
Title, below it, the description of those tickets, get the real Neverland feeling, or the real Neverland experience.
Yeah.
Sitting on beanbags, really?
I'm like,
for
come
$80?
on.
Shut the front door. Come on.
I agree. Like, come on. And just judging from the location, I'm sorry, the fact that they couldn't even get any, per se, notice to be approved to perform here in New York. Ha! That shows a lot about their play, because most plays that start out, or musicals, generally will premiere in New York. Even if they're small, they'll premiere in the off-Broadway setting of my city and then work their way onto the main stage. This play hasn't even made its way out of LA. This is in a small setting. Like, I Googled the place, the Carl Sagan and Anne Druyan Theater. That's a small venue, so that place doesn't fit a lot of people. So that's why they're selling out so fast. Because that place only fits about 600 people, which is nothing. Like, the place that they're using in that center only holds about 600 to 650 people, from what I just read. And that's why it's selling out so fast, because it doesn't hold a lot of people, even though the house should be empty.
Exactly. And I feel it's just, it's too many. It's 600 and whatever it fits, 600 too many.
Exactly.
Zero.
I just really can't believe it, though. Like, this is utter nonsense, and enough is enough already. But guys, like, if you know about this For the Love of the Glove, unauthorized Michael Jackson story as told by his glove, this crap that they're doing, if you follow them, please unfollow them idiots, because they're not causing any good towards Michael's name. They're doing nothing but criticizing, bashing, ridiculing, and trying to tarnish his legacy through this play, or musical, or whatever the heck you want to call it. Because it ain't too musical to me with this "it's great to be white" thing. Like, he's a black man. He was very proud of his blackness. So for them to even write a song stating that he's proud to be white, and then this whole mentioning of the KKK thing, and showing him dancing and shucking and jiving and dancing around with the KKK, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I can't believe that they really had him dancing on stage with the damn KKK.
He would probably kick their ass, though.
He would. He would have.
Moonwalk style.
Damn right. But there was something else we also wanted to talk to you guys about. The Super Bowl as of recent. Because I've received messages from fans about Shakira and J-Lo's performance, and how they were disgusted at how they were gyrating and pretty much scantily clad. I'll be honest, guys, and you can jump in at any time, Dove Angel. The performance was amazing. They did good together. Jennifer Lopez's vocals were off, as always, but the performance itself was good. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then they also did try to point out and tell me that, well, I don't know whether it was 2016 or 2017, but one of the 2 years where the Maroon 5 performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, and Adam Levine, of course, being the lead singer, decides to strip. The person had told me that he stripped out his clothes butt naked in front of the audience, which enraged me. But once I looked and researched, because I've never watched that performance, all he did was take off his shirt. Like, all the man did was take off his shirt. But I do get what the viewer was saying, because why should he be able to take off his shirt and expose nipples when Janet literally got in trouble for exposing a nipple? Both males and females have nipples, so on national TV, I guess if there's an issue with her nipples being out, his nipples shouldn't be out either during a halftime show. Like, his nipples should have stayed under that shirt of his. Nobody wanted to see them anyway. Like, Janet Jackson was ridiculed, and of course, I will always defend the Jacksons no matter what. But in this case...
Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah,
it's another, it's the same agenda.
Same agenda.
The two most famous siblings on this planet, the ones that are bringing in the serious money, they want them out of there. No matter what it takes, no matter how, they don't care. And they just want them out. And it's enough. Enough is enough. I love MJ to death, but I will also stand behind Janet, because she's been a major part of my life as well, since, I was born in the 80s, and she was literally blowing up MTV as well.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, trying to do her, dance routines in front of the mirror and everything. But, yeah, I swear.
Like, I love
So it's
Janet.
enough.
I know how you
Yeah, she's
feel.
great.
Like the Jackson family as a whole, I respect them. They're musical royalty, and I people hate when I say that, but they are musical royalty. They're
Hmm.
they are one of the first families of music next to the Osmonds. Like, are you kidding me? Like, they've brought so much to this music industry that people don't really show appreciation for, especially Janet. She's done just as much fighting for black rights through her music, just as Michael did. Rhythm Nation wasn't
Exactly.
just a song about dancing, it was about uniting black and white.
Yep.
Same way her brother made a song called Black and White, which was to what? Unite black folks and white folks, unite the planet, unite everyone through music. And in her opening lyrics of that song, of Rhythm Nation, she says, with music by my side to break the color lines. That song had a powerful message. So Janet has always projected a good message in her music, even if people didn't agree with her songs because they're only MJ fans. I love them both equally because they are the biggest things in my life that I've literally listened to my entire life. Like Michael and Janet is on my phone front to back. I have other artists, don't get me wrong, but my playlists are generally MJ and Janet. I love those two, especially Janet. It's my wife, my baby. I was just watching her performance
Oh.
last night and watching how she dragged one of her audience members on stage and tied him to like this
Mm.
uh post. And when she tied him up, she
Oh
climbed
yeah.
on
That's
him and like put
yep.
her, parts in his face, and he started moving his nose around and flicking his tongue around like a madman. I was like, oh damn. I was like, Janet is putting it on that fan, but now that's what you call a performer. Like, fine, MJ didn't have to per se sexualize his performance, but unfortunately, Janet had that feminine wild where, she just oozed it and she just released it and she was able to just show it without being too overtly sexual. You can see the sexiness in Janet without her being overly sexual. But the fact that Adam Levine, I do agree, if he can show nipples on national TV, then anybody should be able to show nipples because in the long run, men don't acknowledge it, but men have breasts also. We just refrain from using the word breast and say the word chest because breast sounds like, oh, it's
It's the same
female
thing.
related. But anatomy wise, all human beings have breasts. Only difference is women produce larger breasts and other things. But I don't want to be graphic about that. But yeah, like, it's the truth, though. I mean,
We're going into biology class now.
seriously. Like, I mean, it is the
Wow.
truth as much as us guys don't want to admit that that's what they're called. Medically speaking, that's what they're called. But we try to refrain from, using that particular word because we're like, oh, that's a girl thing. So it's like, But in the long run, medically speaking, that's what they're called. Scientifically speaking as well. But Dove, do you have anything that you want to share with them or about
Well,
this
I want to
particular
talk
moment?
about not exactly about well the Super Bowl was good performance like you said. Yes, I agree. The kids in the cages was very wrong. You know, very
I
very
agree.
wrong. The pole dancing was very wrong. You know, they could just be doing whatever kind of dance without. It's not even necessary to show that much. How do you say this? That much meat. I mean, if you're a good dancer, you're a good dancer regardless, whether you show it or not. And they were shaking and flaunting and you know grabbing and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's about the Super Bowl. What I want to talk about now, if you're okay with it, is about the 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. Say that again?
Oh, sorry, about the lip syncing. The
Oh, sure.
that
You can talk about that by
yeah,
all means.
they've been told, yeah. they'd be going off on Twitter about Michael Jackson, lip syncing, and Janet Jackson lip syncing, and people not running, but walking out on in her concerts or out of her concerts. I mean, it's okay for people to have their opinion, but there was this one person, I can't remember what the name was or whatever, but I, for one, would pay exactly what she said or he said. I would pay good money to only see them, even if it would just sit on a chair, just to be able to share the same, room and feel the whole magic around these people would be just enough for me. So I feel it's really, really disrespectful to even talk about lip syncing when a lot of artists do it.
Exactly.
It's hard enough to be going up and down, jumping up and down, running from one point of the stage to the other one, going up and down on cherry pickers, putting your crotch in on a man's face and keep a straight face. I'm sorry, but it's hard. I mean, hello, she's not a rock. She has feelings.
Exactly.
And and they're on. I'm sorry, Janet. I love you if you're listening, but she's not a spring chicken anymore. And it gets, every time it gets difficult and even more hard to keep your voice the same as people are used to listening to it. And it's not the same listening to someone on a recorded album than listening to them live. It's not the same thing.
Truth. Speak it.
So if she feels, yeah. So if she feels she needs to lip sync once in a while to even spare her voice a little so you can get, the quality that they want to bring to their public, I feel it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
So if anyone who feels that they shouldn't be lip syncing or whatever, I would like to see any of those guys get up that stage and perform 2.5 hours to 3 hours, back to back, sweating and everything, and using your own voice without getting out of breath, without running out of breath.
Exactly. I said the same thing. Because the one thing that people don't realize about stage performers when they are actually performing live, that they're using every muscle in their body, from their voice, their vocal muscles, their facial muscles for expression, their eyes, their hands, their arms, their shoulders for dancing, their legs for dancing. So they're constantly moving and burning off that energy the entire performance. So imagine, that's like exercise, guys. People go to dance class for exercise. So imagine doing that on stage for 3.5 hours, 4 hours max, depending on how long a performer is performing for. Like, imagine going that long and not being able to take a break. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but none of you out there would be able to sit there for 4 hours straight and dance straight for 4 hours while singing and have it still sound 100% perfect. I expect flaws from musicians. I expect, if there are flaws, even if there is lip syncing, excuse me. If there is lip syncing, I do expect that from time to time, because these singers do need to preserve their voices and their bodies. All right, that gives me something else to say before we actually wrap up this podcast regarding Michael also. Something else that I was messaged about, someone saying that I'm making it seem as if Michael hated his fans when I posted that clip in the Escape Plan Part 4 where he says, I don't like to tour.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. When I posted that in that particular video, that was to point out what he actually meant. He didn't like to tour, but however, he did like to see us fans. And I did say that specifically in that video. Although he likes to be around his fans and give us a chance to see him, he did not like to tour because of what it did to his voice and what it did to his body. Like, how is that saying that he hates his fans? Some people misconstrue and don't listen properly when it comes to what I'm actually saying in my videos to make a determination that I'm saying that he hated his fans. He loved his fans more than anybody else ever did. That's the one thing that Michael was known for, was the love that he provided to his fans, and no one can actually say otherwise. So the person that message me saying that I'm making it look like MJ hated his fans. No, you're just being a hater. You're just being a hater. And I'm taking that from my auntie, and you know who my auntie is. I won't say her name. Dove. Because my auntie always calls people haters. And auntie, for once, I agree with you. That person right there, you're a hater. Like, you're a hater. You're a hater. But it's okay, though.
But just to go, if people would really listen, listen, not hear, listen. Listening and hearing is not the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay? So if they just listen to his interview where he says, "I love to tour," that epic one.
Yes.
If they really would listen to the man, they would already know that this man. I haven't seen any other artist, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen any other performance or artist or VIP or celebrity go out of their way to make his fans feel comfortable while waiting for him to perform while they were sleeping on the street, being cold, being freezing, being rainy. It didn't matter to them. They just wanted to be close to him. And he had the decency to be throwing out the window pillows with little messages on them, blankets, ordering pizza. If that's not caring about your fans, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
And if someone else did that, well, correct me, because I haven't heard any of it from anyone else. And that's who Michael Jackson is. I'm sorry, but that's who he is. And if you still think that he doesn't love us as his fans, there's something wrong with you.
Like, I see a lot of people commenting and saying, exactly, he loved seeing his fans. Everyone's commenting the same thing. It's true, though. He had lupus, and he was dealing with chronic pain behind that. That's something else we didn't mention. Like, you can see it. You can see it, especially during the 80s. You can see it all in his face. He just got lucky to not receive the scars from it, because a lot of people who dealt with lupus end up with certain scars on their faces or on their bodies. So he was fortunate enough to actually not receive any of those scars where you can tell. But however, he did receive what did they call it? Like the rashy redness is what they called it, like rashy redness or something. I don't remember the exact title, but it was like, it was so red to the point it almost looked like a rash sometimes in his face. You can see it. So for people to say that him lip syncing is wrong, y'all don't really pay attention to the real facts. All of you guys already know it that's watching this live stream. So the man was not well, but he managed himself like he was and pushed himself to the maximum, even though he shouldn't have, but he did because he loved his fans and he loved what he did as a performer. Yes, he loved to perform, but touring was very hard on that man, and nobody respects the fact that that man needed a break. Why do you think that he's not with us now? Why do you think he left and faked his death? After all of this time now, the ridicule, the bashing, the turmoil that he's put on his body, his voice, never having a personal space, never being able to be himself, thinking that, because I built Neverland, that I'd have time to myself to enjoy the things on the outside world within my own home. He couldn't even do that.
Nope.
Anyway.
He couldn't even go shopping, without having security around, having to mask his kids so no one would recognize him.
Exactly.
I don't think people really understand what this man has gone through. People pulling and screaming in his ear and, touching his hair or even pulling his hair to have, a piece of whatever he was wearing, if it was a wig or not, I don't care.
Exactly.
Or a piece of his, of his coat or whatever. This man was haunted every single time. It didn't matter whether he was on vacation or shopping or just relaxing. The poor man couldn't even take his kids to McDonald's or a zoo or whatever, because he would get attacked.
And that's why he used doubles. That's why he used doubles, like the double that was used in April 2009 that that messenger or that viewer had said is not. Oh my God. It's just, that's exactly why he used doubles, because he needed a way to get around peacefully. And to have to live like that all the time, it takes its toll on you. It really does.
Yes.
All I would need is one person
Well,
chasing
it's
me
just
around
easy.
all day and I'd be exhausted.
I know, right? Like, get lost for a
Like, come
while.
on.
Let me breathe.
Enough is enough already. I love you too. Love you too. I'm glad you love my songs. Love you guys. But I'm tired. I need a nap. I know how MJ felt. Like, you need a break. You need a break. He needed a
Yeah.
break.
But I mean, it's as easy as clicking on, typing it in on Google or on YouTube, the actual, the original body doubles for Michael Jackson, and those are the ones that actually worked with him for years and years and years. So they know his every move. They know how he speaks. They know how he carries himself around. They even know how he walks, how he breathes, the elegance that MJ has. They have everything down to a T because they have been studying him all of their life. Well, at least for the time they were, working with him. And it's just as easy as do a little bit of research and see all these people, get to know their faces because they're out there.
Exactly.
Even in some of his short films, there are doubles used for it.
There are.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about one of those doubles that we well, not we. I can't even say there's a we on this one. This is your discovery there, my friend.
Are you reading? Are you reading my mind? You're scaring me.
That's why we're friends, because we think alike.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I discovered, and I don't know if you guys ever noticed it because it's really short and you really have to pay attention. But in there's the short film of Who Is It? In the limousine, that's not Michael Jackson. The one that's lying on the couch inside of the airplane, that's not Michael Jackson. That's actually a body double. Now, there's rumors that it could be two of them. One is, the name I don't know, but one who was pointed out to be used at that time because Michael was touring and he couldn't finish certain parts of the short film, that it was E. Casanova used for it. And the other one, I'm not going to spoil it yet. I'm not going to spoil alert that one.
That was the one that I was hoping for, but you know what? Save it until we're actually done researching that one and get the full facts and get the name and everything of this particular person. Because the way...
Yeah, because it's shocking. It's shocking.
Yep, it's shocking. It's definitely shocking. It shocked the hell out of me once Dove Angel brought it to me. So, guys, yes. That one is shocking, but you know what? We're not gonna speak about it now, that particular one. But guys, do you have any questions for us? Let me go down. Is there any questions before we wrap up this live? Because this is
on the plane. He's not getting on the plane, Cool Chick. He's in the plane. When he's sleeping on the couch, like he's lying on his side, and you kind of only see his eyes and his hair. They're very short, but it's not Michael. It's a body double. Sorry, I was answering a question. Go ahead.
No, but someone's asking, how do you know this? It's called watching, viewing, and paying attention, because it's right there in our faces. And I didn't even pay that any attention until she pointed out the exact moment in the Who Is It video for me. And she pointed out something else in another music video that I can't speak about right now until she's particularly ready. But I was shocked, and I still have the video, and I've watched that one over and over, like, oh my goodness. I was like, I didn't even know that this one even existed. I've never even seen that double before, because he looks nothing like the others at all.
No.
And then for him to
the reason behind it is even more weird.
And then the funny thing is, this is the one thing I will say. He was darker than Michael. Yep. So I don't know how he was able to pull it off. But he was darker than Michael was at that time in that particular music video. His skin tone was way, way darker. Like, if you guys follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've seen my complexion and what I look like. The guy was about my complexion. Very brown
Yep.
skin. So I'm not sure how he was to pull it off, but he was there. And I was like, oh my God, seriously? I'm like, how is this possible? And I was like, why did she show me this? Because now I'm going to be obsessed with trying to find out who this person is. Like,
Well,
who
there's
is it?
not much information, to be honest, about whoever it is. But, it's enough for us to talk about it, later on, or even make a video out of it, because it's really shocking. And it's only, a split of a few seconds that you really see him. And it's only in one part of some interview. And it's just amazing. The day we show you guys, you're going to go, wait, what? Rewind it for me, please.
Right? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hi, Sandy. I see your question. I responded to your question at the beginning of the live. You probably joined a little late. But I did respond to you. But yeah, guys, like, that was definitely major when she told me about that. But if you guys don't have anything else for us, we're about to wrap up this podcast, and we will see you for episode 2, because this is only the first part of our podcast together. So we definitely hope you guys will be tuned in next week. Thank you to all 30 people who actually joined this live stream. I'm hoping next live stream with us, there'll be more. Dove Angel, do you have anything to say to our viewers and our peoples?
Our peoples.
Hi, people.
Yes,
Hi,
thank you, everybody,
peoples.
for joining us.
Well, thank you guys, though, for joining us and being here with us for this last hour. We're going to be doing another podcast next Saturday. So I hope you guys will be here, and hopefully we can get more than 30 next time around. But guys, thank you for tuning into this podcast. This is just Master P, as I'm called, even though it's Mr. But just Mr. P and Dove Angel. Let's go. We will see you guys next week. Much love to you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.